to build the perfect lawn and garden tractor, what would it look like? Would it have a direct drive shaft? A hydraulic deck lift? What about a cast iron front axle or a welded steel frame? How easy would your tractor be to operate? Would it have power steering and cruise control? How about an automatic transmission? Would your tractor have a cup holder? See, the reason we ask is we've already built that tractor, the Cub Cadet, the world's best designed lawn and garden tractor. Call this number now to find out what makes the Cub Cadet that much better than an ordinary tractor.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today.
Stop by your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer, Niagara Lawn and Garden Equipment, today.
The opinions expressed on NiagaraBroadcastNetwork.com are those of the host and the guest, not of management or the sponsors.
Over in the sky. Wake up the dawn and ask her why. Dream a dream, she never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide.
Talk about summertime memories. How many times did you go to Crystal Beach, Dennis?
Oh, God, I've been there probably about 20 times when I was a kid. I loved it there.
It was some great memories.
Yep,
Crystal
a lot
Beach,
of memories
and,
there.
yeah, all
Yep.
the different things. Dennis Virturoso is with us, folks. He's running again.
Well, I was going to announce it tonight on your show.
Announce it.
I'm running for my 15th term as county legislator in the 6th District. Announcing it tonight on Sal's show.
As you you know what?
As I promised
I
you.
got to say, you said you would do that, and you're one of the guys that keep their word. And you say, "I'll come back. I'll keep you posted," and you have right along.
Right. I haven't put anything in the Gazette yet or anything because I told you I was going to announce on your show.
But you know what?
Which I did.
I do appreciate that. But everybody knows you were running.
Yeah, well.
Everybody knows you're running.
I mean, I went out with petitions and everything, but but still, it hasn't been announced, so I'm announcing it tonight. I promised Sal I would not. That was what, back in
Yep.
June or no?
Sure.
May, wasn't it?
When the
Back in
petitions
May.
started coming
Yeah,
out,
when
I
the
said, what are you going to do,
petitions-
Dennis?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I said, right after petitions, I'll come on, and then I had some surgery after that, and I had knee surgery, and just starting to get better now. So
how many years now?
well, right now I have 28 years in. So if I win this one coming up, I'll have 15 terms, 30 years in the legislature.
And I asked you when we first walked in, and you said you were going to run. And my question to you was,
Why?
well, no, when's enough?
Well, it's not that. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of things in the county. And you know what? With the knowledge that I have about the county, I think it's a benefit to all the taxpayers and all the people of Niagara Falls and Niagara County, because I know that budget inside and out. I know every department inside and out. There's not a learning curve here. I know what it takes to run the county, and I got the experience and the knowledge to do it.
Well, but there's some other things going on that maybe you can enlighten the people. I want to let the folks know this is a Friday night. It's about 24 minutes to 7. We're going to be with you for about an hour. Dennis is with us. We're also going to take phone calls, 333-3020. So if you dial it carefully, 333-3020, you can get in here. We'd love to talk to you if you got something on your mind. In fact, phones are ringing already, Dennis. So
Oh, all right.
grab headphones and let's say hi to folks. 333-3020. Dial it carefully. Once we pick up, you're in. So just hang on. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, am I on?
You're on.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I ain't talking to myself.
Nope.
Hey, Dennis, look, I just wanted to thank you. It's Dave.
Yeah.
You know, you really, really helped me out over the years when I was fighting the water authority with that availability rate. And whenever I had a problem, you guys, you especially, always stepped up to the plate, man. I can't thank you enough, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You've done a good job, and I'm going to tell you, everybody realizes that. That's why you will be elected again, man.
Well, I hope so.
Well, like I said, even in the inspection department, when you had a problem, when you called up over there, and you took care of it. And it's a shame that you're not there now, but you can't stay there forever.
No, that's for sure.
You know, I got one thing, and I'm taking off. I'm going to a car show. I love car shows. I just went out and bought a new hot rod over here, and I'm going out. But anyways, you know what I can't understand? You know, the guy that's running against you, you know, he got nailed for a DWI. How the hell could he run with a clear conscience against you with a DWI?
That's what I'd like to know. I mean, you know, that's, as a matter of fact, I heard that it's 2 DWIs.
Wow,
And I heard he doesn't even have his license anymore. They took away his license. I don't know how he can run with that kind of...
But do you have to have a clean record to run for legislator?
Well, I guess you can't have any felonies, but I mean, I just don't know with clear conscience how someone that reckless, you know, he's 27 years old and he's got 2 DWIs already. How do you run for public office? You know.
How is he going to get to the legislature chambers when you go for meetings and all that?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know, but you know what? I take DWI seriously. My nephew was killed by a drunk driver, and you know, to me, there's no excuse for that. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of ways now. If you're drinking, you know, you can get an Uber or Lyft. You don't have to get in your car and drive home. There's no excuse for it anymore, and you know, that kind of recklessness, you can kill somebody, you can ruin somebody's life forever, you can cripple somebody. You know, I mean, it's just terrible. It's just, to me, it's incoherent anymore to do something like that. I mean, Sal, you're a police officer.
I've been a police officer for 20, going on 23 years
Right.
now. And one thing I do not have tolerance for is DWIs.
Right, exactly.
Because just exactly what you're saying, there's people out there, there's families out there, I've seen people killed, and there's no excuse.
No excuse.
You can get a ride, you can have a designated driver,
Right.
or, you know, if you're going to drink, don't get behind the wheel. Call a cab. I mean, Uber, there's all kinds of things. So,
Matter of fact, when the police officer stopped him, it was right in the paper, he was going up the wrong side of the street. And when the police officer stopped him, he asked him if he was drinking. He said he had 5 beers and a shot, and then he wouldn't take the sobriety test either.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's something. Well, look at Dennis. I'm going to Lewiston. Go to that car show.
yeah, have a good
Thank
time.
you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll be there for you. You
All
got
right.
my vote, my family's vote. Thank you.
I appreciate
You bringing your new rod with you, or did you get it yet?
No, I just got it, and I got it in the shop. You got to see this. I'll tell you, it's. I had a lot of cars, street rods over the
Oh, I
years.
know.
This one here, I'm not building anymore. It's too old. It takes too much time. But this is really something. It's a lead sled. You got to see it, man.
What
is it, Dave?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a 1954 two-door sedan. It's got Continental kit on there, rolled and pleated interior, etched windows. It's beautiful. The gangster wide white wall tires. You got to see this. It's a primo car, and I love it, man. I'm gonna have a ride with it. What's left of this summer.
Great.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Yeah,
Okay,
good luck. Thanks,
thank you.
Dave.
He's in his second childhood
Yeah,
now.
hey, I don't blame him. Hey, you live life, you know what I mean? You know, you don't know.
333-3020, that's the number. Dennis Virturoso is with us. Dennis is running for another term. Dennis, what are some of the things? I know there's some investigations going on, and I don't know what you can or can't talk. Can you talk about them?
Yeah, sure. There's a couple going on right now. There's one with OTB, off-track betting. And what off-track betting is that it's a corporation. It's a public corporation that was formed, back in the 70s. There was 15 counties and 2 cities that joined and formed the OTB Corporation, Western New York Off-Track Betting. And the profits from that are to be split up between the 15 counties and the 2 cities. So what's going on there, and it's run by a board of directors, one person from each county has an appointment there. And what's going on there was that they were giving, well, first of all, they're getting health care benefits, the board members, and they're not supposed to be getting that. And it's the Cadillac health care. It's like $30,000 a year for
Well,
this health care.
explain what do you mean they're not supposed to be?
Well-
How do they get it and they're not supposed to get it?
According to the state controller, all right, that public entities, public corporations, their board of directors cannot receive any kind of benefits besides salary. That's it. So they get, I think, $200 or $300 a meeting, and then they get this Cadillac health care, all right? And they're not supposed to get that. No other OTB in New York State, their board of directors, none of
Well,
them get that.
now, explain to me, because I'm like maybe stupid, but
Yeah.
in the city, something happens, the council votes on it. In the county, doesn't the legislature vote on it?
Well, see, they're not supposed to be receiving that, right? But we don't have.
So, but how long has this been going on?
Well, it's been going on for quite a while, I guess, and I guess they were told before that they can't do it, and they're doing it. So now the state controller is going to come in and audit them and probably tell them they can't do it for sure. You know what I mean? Put it in writing that they can't do that.
Is there
and then there's-
anything more than that?
Yeah, there's more than that going on. There's also they bought suites for the Bills games and for the Buffalo Sabres games, and they're giving out tickets to family members, which you can't do. They're giving out to public officials.
Well, hold on.
And now it's
okay, hold on.
rumored that, all right?
Oh, but let me ask
Yeah.
you this. They bought tickets and they're giving out, I mean, if my corporation, Niagara Broadcast, if I bought suites to the Bills
Right.
game and I want to give my sponsors tickets or
That's fine.
or to my
Yeah.
family or friends, can I do
You're
that?
not a public, you're a private corporation, but when you're a public corporation, you can't do that, all right? There's rules and regulations. You can only give that to your customers, all right? Like they're high rollers and stuff like that. They can't give it out to their friends. It's not their money to spend like that. It's public money. Whatever profits they make come back to us, okay, to the counties. Well, they spent $250,000 on the suite for the Bills and $250,000 for the suite for the Sabres, and then they're giving out the tickets on top of that. You're talking over $500,000 right there that could have gone back to the taxpayers. So yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Is that illegal?
It is illegal, yes.
And so what's going on with that?
Well, that's where the controller's coming in now, and he's going to investigate. And the FBI's there investigating, too. And then there's some sweetheart contracts that they're investigating also, to contracts that they did with certain political people. I can't say exactly what that is right now, but that's why the FBI's in there also.
And so
So the FBI's in there and the state controller now.
George Maziarz 4 or 5 months ago made a big statement saying that there was illegal stuff going on.
Right.
He had proof. Is this all part
This
of that?
is part of that, yes.
And so now how does this boil out? It has to go through where to find out if there was...
Well, like I said,
criminality?
the FBI is involved now, and the state controller. So let's see what happens. I mean, in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. So let's see what they come up with. If they come up with nothing, then everything's fine. If they find things, then we'll know about it soon enough.
And is this, when you say they're investigating, is this the whole legislature, just the people that run the OTB? Who is actually being looked at?
Well, off-track betting right now, yes. The board of directors and the chairman of OTB and the president of OTB.
333-3020, we're with Dennis Virturoso. Phones are ringing. Grab your headphones.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
put it in your microphone so we don't get the little
Oh,
that squealing, that little squealing right there,
Okay.
I know. Hi, you're on with Dennis. Hi, you're on the air. Hello. I turned up the wrong thing. Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Sal. It's Glenn Shalokian. How are you?
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
Hi, Dennis. I got to apologize. I'm driving. I didn't know you were a guest tonight, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
But I
That's
just
all right.
want to touch base with Sal, so if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, Sal. I just want to thank everybody. I had a great fundraiser the other night. It was a huge success, and I want to thank everybody for coming. And that was number one why I wanted to call. And number two, I just said I would touch base with you, Sal, how our campaign's going. Everything's going great. The other night was just a wonderful night of regular people, and I'm excited. I just want to touch base with you.
I heard, I had people call me, they said, Glenn had a great opening, he had, how many, 200 people or something like that?
Yeah, I think they lost count at 172. I didn't really care about the number. The nice part was, Dennis will tell you, when you got new faces that you never saw before, that kind of means there's a little excitement with the campaign. So that made me feel real good.
That's
a lot
good.
of new faces.
I got one problem with what I heard, and I need clarification. And Dennis, you could bear me out on this. Somebody said you ran out of food, and this thing was at Tacoma. Never heard of anybody run out of food at Tacoma, so I don't think that was the case.
No, you know what? They just not ran out of food. They had to cook more, and they had to bring I heard 5 or 6 more tables out. We went through all the tables, and again, it was exciting. It was just you never know what you're gonna do in fundraisers, and to see that much people there, and the line was out the door. Again, it was just. I think it's excitement for campaigns. Not that it's just mine. I think this year, even in Dennis's race, I think you're gonna have a lot of people that definitely are a little interested in the campaign this year.
Yeah, I see a big turnout this year. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
You know how it is, Dennis. You need to, people like to complain. We got to get them out to vote.
Yeah, that's it.
But,
right.
How many are you expecting in a general election, Glenn? I mean, are we gonna? I mean, it was pretty dismal, the primary, as far as I'm concerned. What did you think, Dennis? Was that turnout? Was that any? That was nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't huge, but it's probably average for a primary.
There's 3,800 or something like that.
Do we have
about 4,000? Yeah.
Do we have a guess for the general, now being a mayoral election? That
You'll probably get about 10,000 people.
Yeah, I was going to say about 9, but you're probably right, Dennis.
Yeah.
I hope it's 10.
Yeah.
I hope it's 10.
Yeah.
Well, I congratulate you. I heard it was a great success. I mean, it's good to hear when people, come in and turn out in by the hundreds. You, of course, are welcome, along with all the candidates, to come on with your progress like you told us you would. And I'm waiting. People are telling me a little bit after August, they're expecting everybody to start kickstarting these campaigns.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get a hold of you, Sal. Like I told you, I'm doing a video. It's almost done, and I'm going to release it on your show. It's going to be our first step. So I'm going to touch base with you soon, and I'm excited to come on. And again, I'm sorry to interrupt your show, Dennis, but I'm
No,
kind
go
of
ahead.
excited about the campaign.
No problem, Glenn. No problem.
Like I said, Sal, it was very humbling that we had a lot of, I think 99% of the people were citizens that wanted to vote, wanted to change. So again, like I said, I'm excited. I think we're going to get some new people out to vote, I hope.
Well, thank you, Glenn, for letting us know what's going on and keeping us posted. And you, again, are welcome throughout the campaign. As I said, any candidate that's interested, all they got to do is get a hold of me, and we'll have them on. So when you're ready, let us know, and you got a spot.
All right, I appreciate it, Sal. And Dennis, good luck to you too, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll be
okay.
definitely talking to you.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
have a
you.
good weekend, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, thank you, Glenn.
Take care, Glenn.
Yeah. I heard it was a pretty big event.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard that they had to set up more tables and.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Yeah, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you can get the people excited,
Yep.
and get them to come out, this city, I don't really know what we need, Dennis. We need something.
Well, the city's a gold mine. You just got to tap into it. That's all. I mean, you got to get people working together and get things done. That's what we need in this city.
We're live on a Friday night. We got about another half hour or so. 333-3020 if you'd like to get in. Dennis Virturoso's here. What do you think about the campaign? What do you think about the candidates? What do you think about the legislature? We're going to talk to Dennis to see what else is coming up, but you're welcome to join us. 333-3020 is our number. Let's get real for a moment. When you're looking for a home appliance repairman, what do you look for? Well, in most cases, you look for someone who can do the job honestly and do it correctly the first time. Then you look for someone who's reasonable, someone who's going to give you a fair price for the work he does. Well, I got one that's even better than that. He'll give you the best price you're going to ever hear. His name is Chris Moore, and his service call is $35. Got a problem with the stove, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer, hey, you name it. If it's a home appliance, Chris can fix it, and he does it for a $35 service call, plus the cost of the parts and installation. Now, I don't know of any other repairman who's had as much experience, over 30 years, as Chris Moore, who will come to your home for a $35 service call. You know, once you have Chris at your house, you're going to want him back again and again and again. and you're going to recommend them to all your friends and relatives. So you want to have that phone number handy. So what do? Well, let's update. Let's not put it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere where it's going to get lost or fall off, dry up, and disappear. Put it in your cell phone where you know you can find it when you need it. Because you know someday you will need Chris Moore's number. It's 523-5911. Chris Moore's Appliance Repair. $35 service call plus the cost of the parts and installation. 523-5911. Put that in your cell phone right now. At the Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86th and Buffalo Avenue and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main Street, you're not just another customer, and your needs are important. To them, you're a somebody.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Now under new ownership, both pharmacies will see to it that you get the personal service that you deserve. Want to give them a try? Then call right now, 260-1918, and tell them you want to switch your prescriptions over to the Wellness Park Pharmacy or Community Pharmacy in Niagara Falls. They'll make all the phone calls to make it happen. And both pharmacies offer free home prescription delivery. And when you have them on the phone, be sure to ask about their wide selection of CBD products. Available in creams, oils, gummies, and much, much more. Get all the details today by calling 260-1918. The Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86th and Buffalo Avenue and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main. Call 260-1918.
Where everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came.
Hey, they good people over there at Wellness Park. Dennis Virturoso is with us, running again for another term on the legislature. We're okay in the county? I mean, money-wise?
Yeah, we're doing good. I mean, the county, unlike the city, we're doing good. We got anywhere between $25 to $28 million surplus right now.
Now, somebody told me we have do they call it a rainy day fund?
Well, I'm talking about the surplus.
What is a rainy day fund, and when do you go into the rainy day fund?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean,
what is considered a rainy day?
What we did when the Democrats were in control back in 2002, we passed a resolution that we had to have at least 6% of our budget in a fund. All right, a fund balance.
County budget.
Right. 6% that we had to keep in a fund balance just in case there's an emergency or something, So since then, we've done pretty good. I mean, right now we got pretty close to, almost 15%, but by law we have to keep 6.
So when would you say, hey, we got to go into this fund?
So we tap into it. Yes, we do tap into it. Like
for what type of things?
Well, like last year's budget, we took $4 million out of that fund to help balance the budget. So this way we didn't have to raise taxes, all right? Well, we did raise taxes, I think 0.5% or something like that. But if we didn't take the $4 million out, we would have had to raise taxes probably 2 to 3%, which we don't want to do that because there's a cap now. You have a cap now. The governor's got a cap, and you can't go over that 2% cap. And if you do,
so why is everybody struggling in the county? Let me ask you this: when you say county, the legislature, does that, we talking, like we got town of Wheatfield has their own budget,
Yes.
town of Niagara,
Yeah,
so what is when you say county, what does that take in?
the county government I'm talking about.
Okay, so
The
is
county.
that what, the sheriff department?
That's at sheriff's department, the health department, the auto bureau, the records, everything, we have like 29 departments that we have.
And, okay, so, and when do you, other than you just said taxes, when would you go into this rainy day reserve fund that you
Well,
guys
I mean, if there's a major catastrophe or something that we need money, we got it. You know what I mean? We're there. We're not going to be struggling for cash.
Are you doing anything for instance, this water problem they had, Wilson, all that area?
We've been helping, but we can't, we can't use the money to I mean, that takes billions of dollars to fix what's going on there. So you need state and federal funds for that. But we did send county equipment down there to help, build some dams and things like that, rock dams and things like that to stop the water from coming to shore. So we did our part that way, and our emergency management department did an excellent job there.
Now that kind of brings up another thing, because we're hearing people say, well, the city needs help, so we're gonna share services, and we're gonna plow roads. We're gonna try to see if we can work with other companies. When you send road crews down to, say, Wilson, does Wilson have their own unions and people that say, hey, wait a minute, you can't come in here and do our work. You're taking our overtime,
Well,
does that happen?
All right, what we do is we plow the county roads, okay?
Right.
So, we don't have too many county roads that come into Niagara Falls, but in the other towns and villages, we do. You see Lockport Road is a county road, so you'll see our trucks going down there plowing that out. Whitmore Road's a state road, so you see state plows on that. But, yeah, we have plows that go all over the county, but they're doing county roads. Sometimes we contract with towns and villages, like out in Somerset and things like that, to plow our roads for us.
But you just said these people needed, because of this water situation, and you needed help.
Yeah.
You send crews to do exactly what?
Well, like I said, they built rock dams. They got the payloaders down there, the big excavators, and they built up rock dams and things like that.
Right.
Try to stop the erosion.
Did the local crews there?
Yeah.
Which I
They were
assume-
county workers. They were county workers. Yes.
So there was no opposition. There wasn't. You can't come in here and
they
probably
needed
wanted
the help. Yeah,
Yeah.
they needed the help. They don't have the equipment that we have, so that's kind of like a shared service, also.
Yeah.
But it's difficult when we talk about sharing services. It's not as easy as people think.
Well, yeah,
Because, like you said,
but they
there's
throw it
union-
around, and I'm curious
Yeah,
at people
there's-
saying you can't do that.
There's union contracts you have to abide by. There's all kinds of things, that you can't, unfair labor practices and things like that. You just can't go in and say, okay, we're going to come in Niagara Falls and pave some roads for you. We can't do that because, that's the city workers'
But
job.
what if the mayor said, hey, we need some help. We need some plows in the city. We got to clean up these roads.
Yeah, we could come in, but the unions would have to okay that, because otherwise you're taking work away from their people. That's the problem.
How about when we get to this police situation where they say we need help? Send the sheriff's department in. Send in the town of Niagara. Send in.
Right.
I don't think it just works that easy.
Well, I mean, in emergencies like that, I think everything's out the window. You know what I mean?
In an emergency, right? Yeah.
When there's things like that, and
But
they
what
call the
about-
sheriff's department up for backup and things like that, or even the fire department. If there's a major fire, they'll get a hold of our emergency management, and there's a mutual aid. They call it a mutual aid.
I know they do that, but
right.
suppose Niagara Falls, they're talking about we're having problems with crime.
Right.
We'll get the sheriff department to come in and patrol, or we'll get
The sheriff department would come in and patrol, but the city hasn't asked them yet. And I think that would be a problem, of course, with the city police union, you know what I mean? But the city hasn't asked the sheriff, because I asked the sheriff about that. I says, with all this crime in Niagara Falls, isn't it? Can't we loosen up a few deputies to bring them down there? He says, I would. He says, but they haven't asked yet, And when they do ask, you got to make sure it's okay with the police union, too.
333-3020. Dennis Virturoso is with us. Go to the phones, Dennis. 333-3020. Maybe you got an idea. Hi, you're on the air with Dennis.
And I want to see Dennis put the headphones over his head.
Well, he keeps putting the pass. He doesn't want to mess up his hair, so he's causing a feedback in the mic.
All right, wait. For Joel, I'll do it. Okay, there you go. Okay, how's that?
Well, you fill out shared services, and I've been saying it's the same thing. Respondents who want to share services, we have contractual obligations. You just can't bring a county truck in, help do something, unless it's a state emergency, like a major snowstorm, and if it's a state emergency, then you guys can come in, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, but we also have to be asked to come in. You know what I mean? We just aren't going to send our equipment in there without the mayor knowing or Public Works Department knowing. We have to be asked, and if we can spare the equipment, we'll come in.
Dennis, have they ever approached the county on sharing service, on purchasing, health care, stuff like that?
Well,
Did you know of?
the purchasing, everybody says, oh, yeah, well, we should all get together and try to purchase things cheaper. But most of us are on state contracts, which is the cheapest way to do things. The state actually does that for us, and they go out and take bids like on paper, toilet paper, vehicles, tar for the roads and things like that, stone and everything that we use.
Is the city
there's a state bid, yeah, and the city's on that too. So, they purchase it off the state bid, which is the cheapest way possible. You know what I mean?
What I guess I'm asking, maybe Joe maybe knows something about it because he found we need police cars badly.
Yeah.
So now we just got some money from the casino, whatever. Do we pay the same price the sheriff department pays for cars?
Yeah, you buy it off state contract.
Right.
Right.
And then, but you won't get a police car on the road for at least 6 months. By the time they come and get service to get on the road, you're talking 6 months before you can get them on the road. But, there was a talk, Dennis, a couple of years ago of a group out of Somerset with the health care. Whatever happened to that? You know?
Yeah, I think that fell apart.
You're talking about every municipality getting together
Well,
for a health care plan.
I don't think they came up with the numbers that they thought they were going to come up with. The county right now, we're averaging, probably about something in the range of about 13 to 14,000 for health care per person, per family plan. Now you go like in the city, they're paying almost 25,000.
Yeah, well, we got Cadillac. We're a Cadillac city.
Right.
All right. We're a Cadillac city on a junkyard car budget.
Right.
All right. We spend money here like we're billionaires, and we don't have the money. And that has to start to change, because you know what? Dennis, how much property you own in Niagara Falls? You you have to shake your head every year to see what's happening in this city. It's just ridiculous.
That's, I'm not happy what's going on in my city, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll tell you, Dennis, we've had 7 mayors, 55 years of total, so 7 mayors, and look out your front door, what do you see?
But, Joe, seriously, is it the politicians' fault or is it the people's fault? I look out my window every day, and I see a car pull up, roll down its window, shoots out a McDonald's bag filled with papers and cups, and shoots it right on my front lawn. That's not the mayor's fault, all right? That's not the councilman's fault.
I don't blame the councilman.
There's a lot of people in this city that have to take pride in themselves first.
Years ago, there was when Ford became president, he said we need to clean up our own act first before we start doing something else.
Yeah,
I agree about cleaning, not throwing things on the ground. My dissatisfaction is how they've mismanaged our city. They haven't done anything to improve it. Like you have like I said, you have a rainy day fund. What's about $28 million?
Yeah.
I think you said.
Yeah.
If Niagara Falls would have put this user garbage fee tax on, and people don't realize this, they were screaming about it. It's pennies on the dollar. They would create about $5 million of revenue, maybe more. All right, you got to put that money off to the side to start to create a rainy day fund. All right, but we don't look that way. We look how we got to fill our budget hole right now. And it's a shame. And I wish we ran more like the county. Fiscally responsible. We're not fiscally responsible.
Yeah, and I'm not bragging, but we do a good job fiscally.
You do a great job out there.
Right.
Like you said, when you had control,
right.
You started this thing about the surplus.
Right, exactly.
Right? And close to the pudding.
And that changed because what happened was when the Republicans were in control, I don't know if you remember, it was around 2000, that we had a 20% increase in taxes in the county. And that's when we said, enough is enough. We're not going to go through this again. So we put in place, the fund balance policy. And it's been working great ever since.
Plus, Niagara Falls, 40% of the people are poverty level in Niagara Falls, 40-50% of the people. All right.
But why, Joe? Why, Joe? Because you know why? We want poor people to come in this city. That's what they've been doing. They're building, all this affordable housing, low-income housing. we should be doing just the opposite. We should be building $300,000-$400,000 homes. This way we bring in that kind of people. You know what I'm saying? And we bring in that kind of taxes too. You know what I'm saying?
To turn our city around,
right.
They need to start with the neighborhood redevelopment first.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. And I said that when I was director of inspections, director of code enforcement, I begged them to use the casino money, set up a fund where when we write up these people for their houses, that they can go and take money from that fund and pay maybe 1 or 2% interest and fix up their homes. Because 90% of the time, when our inspectors are writing up these people, they say, well, we can't afford it. You talk about a little old lady that's got to spend $5,000 on a roof. She doesn't have it. She's living on $1,500 a month Social Security. She can't do it.
Yeah. You're right. So, and you look at it like you're saying. There's no help. I want to say we invite poverty in our city. Yeah. All right. Now they want to build more low-income houses, the old Sacred Heart Church.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's just come on in, people. Yeah, but you look 20 miles up the road in Buffalo. What's happening over there? I'm sure they got their problems too.
I just rented out a house from somebody from Buffalo. Right. They were paying for a 1-bedroom apartment on Elmwood Avenue, almost $1,200 a month. Just for a 1-bedroom apartment. So when I showed her this 3-bedroom home that was absolutely beautiful, I mean, she says, I'll take it. It wasn't a problem.
Listen, they have to use, all right, like I said, neighborhood redevelopment. You have to look at the realtors. We're only 25 miles from Buffalo.
Yep.
Okay? And the housing here is cheap. Yep. Like you just said. Look what you're getting for a house. All right, I know what you get for your houses. And these people came in, hands down.
Yeah.
You're saving the money, and they got a beautiful home.
Yeah.
With no aggravation. And how far they go? They're 25-minute ride from Buffalo.
Right.
And we have to start attracting people into our city, but no one's going to come in what we have going on right now.
Well, because we're our own worst enemy. I mean, every time there's something going on Pine Avenue, we're over there all saying, oh, there's another shooting, another this, another that. You know what I mean? We got to, I don't know. We got to have better PR in our city, better PR.
Oh, you're right. Nothing's going to save Pine Avenue until we start the neighborhoods.
Right.
All right, because look at Hurdle Avenue in Buffalo, what they're doing in Buffalo.
Right.
My old boss just sold his house. He got $7,000 more than he was asking for it right off of Hurdle Avenue.
Yeah, isn't that something?
It's a hot area.
Yeah.
And that will happen here maybe eventually if you improve your neighborhoods and you start to attract people to come into here to say, it's a nice city. Then Pine Avenue, all the empty storefronts, we'll get businesses in there, and the neighborhood support business.
Joe.
And you know that, and everybody knows that. But
when I was in business on Pine Avenue, when I had my liquor store and my drive-in dairy, there wasn't an empty store on Pine Avenue. Not one. I mean, you couldn't get one if you wanted to. You know what I mean? And now it's like, but they're trying. They're trying to bring it back now.
I give them so much credit for what they're doing.
Right.
I really do. I mean, I break their stones a lot, right? But I give them a lot of credit. But until the city gets on board with them, it helps them. They're just treading water.
Now you want to help them, Joe? Sunday, they're going to have a chicken barbecue. Yeah, make sure you go out and get one, will you?
I already got the tickets.
All right, good. That's going to help.
Why don't you run for mayor? Get out of that county.
No. I'm happy where I'm at. Because when you run for mayor, right off the bat, everybody hates you. The first day you're sworn in, they're all coming up to you wanting jobs, this and that. And right away.
No, Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
We elect people that way because they're going to give our friend a job? I can't believe that.
You see this head of hair? I wouldn't have any.
I listened to, I heard 4 people, at the time we had 3 candidates, I heard 4 people promised a certain job, and somebody's lying somewhere. It can't be. I mean, it just can't be,
Well, I was looking for my pen down there, so don't worry about that.
All right. I got another one for you if you need it.
I know. I'll talk to you soon. Good luck, buddy.
Take care. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. He's a pretty good follower of politics around here. I mean,
Joe, yeah, he knows what he's talking. I mean, he's educated. They say educated consumer. Joe's an educated consumer. He knows what's going on.
Dennis Virturoso is with us. We're at 333-3020 if you want to call in. We still got a few minutes left. It's a Friday night. It's about 12 minutes after 7, so we got about 15 minutes left. 333-3020 if you want to get in and talk to us. Time to stock up on your warm weather favorites for summertime entertaining, gift giving, and enjoying. Supermarket Liquors and Wines is your headquarters for all the liquors and wines you'll need throughout the season. And you know what? They're open 7 days a week for your convenience, late night Friday, Saturday, and always plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. You want to find out what their specials are every week? Just check them out online, supermarketliquor.com. They're Niagara's largest liquor store, which means their prices and selection are the best you're going to find. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, Niagara Falls Boulevard, Military Road, just across from the Fashion Outlet Mall. Supermarket Liquors and Wines, where you'll always find plenty of brightly lit free parking in front of the store. And plenty of cashiers on hand to speed you on your way. Supermarket Liquors and Wines. Chris Castellani and Supermarket Liquors and Wines.
Yeah, and Sal, let me tell you something about Chris Castellani. I was just at the rededication of the Columbus Square Park as part of the Pine Avenue Redevelopment Corporation, which is my cousin Sylvia, Mike Capizzi, Tony Peretti, all the Pine Avenue business people.
Sure, yeah.
And Chris Castellani, through his generosity, donated $5,000 a year to upkeep that Columbus Square Park. So they renamed it the Castellani Columbus Square Park, and I just can't say enough good things about Chris Castellani. The family donates back to the city. They give back to the city.
I guess what I hear is, now he does a great business over there, but I guess he's given close to $1 million back to the community.
I believe
in different types of charities and stuff. He's always
a lot of things we don't know about that he does. I know he's active with the Boys Club too. He's just a generous guy, and they're a generous family, and they're giving back to the community. They made their money in our community, and they're giving back to our community, which is good.
And so it goes to say, you going to buy liquor, or you need, we'll see him over at the Supermarket Liquors and Wines. But
tell him thank you. Tell him thank you.
Absolutely. Now Sylvia is working on that Pine Avenue stretch, and Sylvia's
my cousin.
Your cousin, yeah.
Right.
I'd like to get Sylvia on the show, actually. She said she would come down. They're trying, but I don't know. Does the county get involved with the? As far as the city, what is the county? You're on the legislature.
See, the county, we do things. We first of all, we pass the county budget. That's what we do. Second of all, we're a pass-through for the state on all their programs. In other words, we run their auto bureau, we run their welfare system. We put the people in jail. This is all state mandate stuff that we have to do.
Yeah.
So we're a pass-through for the state. So we do a lot of things for the state. But we don't do a lot for the towns, cities, and villages because they all have their own governments. So we do things countywide. You know what I mean, like the welfare.
But you
and things like that.
you see the city struggling like crazy.
Health department, yes.
So do you ever get a hold of the mayor or the council and say, hey, look, here's an idea, or here's what we can do, or does the county ever?
Well, yeah, we do. We share things. Like our economic development department. Mike Cassell. They help the city out. With economic development. The sheriff's department helps out with the drug task force and things of that nature. When you have forensics that have to be analyzed, we have our forensic lab that the county does for nothing. For the cities.
Yeah.
There's a lot of services that we do provide to the city that people don't know about. Our health department goes in every single restaurant in the city, and makes sure it's safe to eat in them places. Our mental health department, the mentally ill, they're out there helping. And people don't realize how much the county does, for the city.
I'm a little put off with the mental health department, and I work with the guys that are out there. I have for years, the people that go when there's a crisis or whatever.
Right.
But I tried to reach out and get somebody to come on this show to talk about the opioid crisis, to talk about how do you know when a person needs help, to talk about when do you call somebody when you think someone's thinking about hurting themselves or somebody else. And they said, well, we're not allowed to come out without permission from whoever runs the department. And I never got somebody to call back and say, yeah, we could come on and
Oh,
talk.
I can, let me see what I can do for that.
But
I
I'm
can do
wondering
that.
why they're like that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they probably got to get permission from their director in order to come on the show.
But you think somebody's offering, hey,
Yeah.
when do I look into what's going on? When should I call somebody if my kid's acting strange? I think my kid's having a drug problem.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can-
this
you know what?
person's, and you know what? They're
I will-
reluctant to do this.
I will call Monday, and I'll take care of that.
Perfect, because
Yeah.
I think there's help that's out there.
There's a lot of help out there. A lot of
That
help.
people don't know how and when to get a hold of it.
Right.
And you can't really count always on the hotline. And do you,
Yeah.
is it the county that runs the hotline?
Yeah, they got the hotline too. yeah.
You can't always count on the hotline.
Yeah.
I mean, I want someone to come here and say, this is what you look for. If you see it, this is what you do. This is when you call the police. This is when you call for mental health. Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's another thing we just did too. We the methadone clinic. Remember, it was going to go on
Yep.
6th and Walnut.
Yes.
We kept them in the Trot building, and we just dedicated that. You got to see the beautiful job we
Expanded
did
it,
in
didn't
there.
you?
Expanded it, kept them in that location, which everybody's happy with. You know, the clients and the neighborhood. You know, everybody.
I've been to a lot of calls as a police officer to overdoses and it's so sad that people on this opioid thing, they keep overdosing, they keep overdosing, they keep overdosing. And I went to one call and I said, there was a bunch of people in the room that were all high. They were all using, cocaine, crack, whatever, heroin, whatever they were using. And one person says, I'll help you, officer. And I says, who are you? I'm the designated Narcan person. I said, what? You're the what? Yeah, it's like, you know how you have a designated driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't use the drugs. I just stay here in case somebody overdoses and I react and call somebody.
Wow.
A designated can you believe
That's unbelievable.
You know what?
It's-
There's something going on that's bad.
Society is getting bad.
Yeah, and so that's when I think you got to start talking about what do you before you get to this point. What do you do? Who do you talk to?
Yeah. Well, I will definitely get a hold of the director on Monday, and I'll give you a call.
We've had Jim Swift here a few times, and Jim's an excellent guy. I've been on calls with him. An excellent guy as far as helping people out and going out and talking to people, but sometimes people just don't know when and how and where. So where are we standing with the casino funds? How is it affecting the county?
Well, the county does get a portion of the casino funds, not much. We get about $1 million a year out of that, and of course we haven't received any in the last 2 years, like the city hasn't. But we're not dependent on it. You know what I mean? That money is used to basically, do grants for not-for-profits and things like that. We do. We also use about half of it for the county budget. Try to offset taxes, but we're not dependent on it. So we're just sitting back waiting like everybody else. I mean, this is something that's out of our control and the city's control. It's in the governor and the Indians' control. It's got.
I know, but people in the city keep going. Why doesn't the mayor reach out? Why doesn't somebody reach out? Does the legislature, does the county do anything to try to push this thing ahead?
You can't. The state, the way the compact's written, everything has to go through the state. So people don't understand that. If you read that compact, everything has to go through the state. The money from the casino has to go to the state, then the state distributes it to us.
I understand that,
You know what I mean?
but
So everything, the state controls everything on it.
I understand, but can the legislature reach out and say, "Hey, Governor, how about?"
We sent resolutions to them before saying settle this thing, but there's rules on how they have, if they got a dispute, what they have to do, and they have to go through arbitration, which they did.
But they said they were going to abide by the arbitration,
right?
And they didn't.
The arbitrator ruled in favor of the state,
right?
And now they're still not abiding. So now they want to take it to some federal court or something. I don't know, but the federal court's going to tell them they got to abide by the arbitrator. So it's it's really just a game they're playing. You know what I mean? It's not fair. It's not fair at all. It's not fair to
Your gut feeling
taxpayers.
is the Indians will pay up?
They have to. They have to.
Or
Or they're in violation of the compact.
how about the sports betting? Now, we have sports betting going into other casinos,
Right.
but not the Indian casinos. And apparently, I don't know, the state casinos are going to take sports betting starting?
I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure if it just does. I'm pretty sure. I think the Indians can do it, but I just think they haven't done it yet.
Well, I heard they had to get, and I don't know if this is true or not. They have to get permission from the state,
Okay.
and
So
apparently
that's something that you can wave in front of their.
If that's true, I gotta try to find out about. We're reaching out to everybody, and I want to remind you that on Monday, Bill Carroll will be here. Bill is the city Republican chairman, and apparently they had a meeting with Glenn Chalokian, and regarding or not if they're going to support or endorse him. And I understand that they were also considering supporting or endorsing Bobby Rustino, but nothing official. Have you heard anything along either one of those lines?
No, I haven't heard
Dennis?
that. No.
Yeah. So anyway, Bill Carroll will be here on Monday, and we'll ask him those questions. What's going on with, are you looking at what candidates, how, why? I thought the chairman of your party, I thought it was their job to support their candidate.
Well, I don't know the way the Republican rules read, but the Democratic rules read that you have to support whoever the nominee is, and nominee is Bob Rustino on our, on the Democratic side. So the committee people are supposed to, support him. If they go out and support somebody else, then they could be removed from the committee. So I'm pretty sure the Republicans have the same thing. So I don't know.
But they don't have to endorse, right? They can.
He already is. Glenn already is the Republican candidate.
He's the Republican candidate,
Right.
but not the endorsed
Well,
candidate.
I mean,
at
I
this
don't know
time.
how they can get away from that, but,
We'll ask Bill on Monday. Bill Carroll will be here Monday. We're talking to Dennis Virturoso. A couple more minutes left. We're at 333-3020 if you want to get a
I mean,
call
you
in.
can't stop people from supporting another candidate,
No, I understand.
I get a lot of Republican support, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you can't stop people from voting for you, but the Republicans won't come out and endorse me, you know what I mean? They'll never do that.
When the election first began,
Yeah.
and people were passing petitions.
Petitions, right.
I talked to Bill Carroll because
Right.
I heard they were interested in possibly endorsing Bobby Rustino.
Yeah, you could do that at that time.
And I asked Bill Carroll, I says, are the Republicans considering endorsing Rustino? At that time, he says, we don't have a candidate. Glenn had not announced at that time.
Right.
We don't have a candidate. And as far as Rustino goes, he said, I don't know what we're going to do. We've had a conversation. He has not officially asked for the endorsement, neither has Glenn. He said, but my interest is in the best issue of Niagara Falls, and I want who's going to be the best candidate for the city.
You can do like at petition time when if there's not an endorsed candidate or a candidate, you can get somebody from another party. You could do what's called a Wilson-Pakula. It's a Wilson-Pakula Act that allows that where like if a Democrat, if the Republican Party wants to endorse a Democrat on their line, they could. As long as they don't have a Republican.
What has the legislature done for Eric Herbert? Is he in that? No, are they endorsed?
He's running. He's endorsed. Here we go. There's a perfect example.
Right.
He's an independent, and the Democratic Party endorsed him on the Democratic line.
Right.
So Jason Zona, who is the county chairman, has signed a Wilson-Pakula, and he's allowed to run now on the Democratic line, even though he's an independent.
And he's running for what district?
County
is that?
legislator. I can't. It's in North
Seventh?
Tonawanda.
Is it seventh? You're sixth,
I'm
right?
sixth. I think it's seventh. He's the seventh.
I think he's seventh, and he's running against the guy
Jesse Gooch.
Gooch. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know.
That's the guy that owes all the back taxes. Yeah.
So they say. So they say. Yeah.
No, so they say. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's a matter of
Eric.
record.
Eric is running in that district, and he said he will join us through the general election.
Yeah.
Let us know the progress
Eric's
there.
a good man. I'll tell you.
I like him. I like him. I don't know
very
Mr.
polite.
Gooch, but again, I'm going to say the same that I said to all the candidates. At this point, Every candidate in the running is welcome. I will make time available to them to put their platform out, to talk to their folks. I got a call from a guy from Grand Island the other day. He wants to talk about a run in Grand Island that he's up for, and he says, look, I want to come on your show. I will do some advertising saying I'll be on the show because this is what Grand Island needs, and he's welcome too. 283-8207 if you want to contact us, or I'll give you our email in a minute if you'd like to be on the show. If you're a candidate, at this point, every candidate is welcome to appear.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today.
Stop by your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer, Niagara Lawn and Garden Equipment, today.
Hey, and if you weren't lucky enough to buy a Cub Cadet at the beginning of the season or last season, and maybe you got another lawnmower that's not working, they fix him over at Niagara Lawn and Garden. I understand Mike Richards has the finest mechanic. I've got nothing but people saying these guys are great. The mechanics are terrific, and they can take care of any problem you have. But you want to do yourself a favor, go and see the new. They got some monster mowers over there. Wow, they got some beauties. I don't know how much grass you cut. Are you in there cutting any grass? Dennis?
Yeah, I've been cutting a lot of grass lately.
There's been a lot of councilmen doing the same thing. But go out and see the folks at Niagara Lawn and Garden. So I'll give you the email where you can get us in just a minute, and I'll give you the phone number again. Tell us about your running. This is what term again?
Well, this will be, if I win, this will be my 15th term.
In how many years?
That'd be 30 years.
Oh, man, nice run.
Yeah.
You're having a fundraiser coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I got a fundraiser coming up October 2nd at Antonio's. My fundraisers are, believe me, you get your money's worth when you come to my fundraiser. My wife makes it's like an Italian wedding.
Oh, yeah?
She makes all homemade cookies and everything, and I got all kinds of food and drink and...
So if people are interested in coming to your fundraiser, or they want to help you, or they
Yeah.
want to talk to you,
Yeah.
how do they get hold of you?
Just give me a call. My number's in the book, 284-1582. It's in the phone book. Give me a call. Or you can call me on my cell, 870-6638. I'm available all the time. I return all my calls, so there's no problem there. Always return my
I can
calls.
verify that. Anytime I
Yeah.
called you, you have
Yeah.
record. And I gotta say, you're a man of your word. You said you come back, you'd announce on the
Yeah.
show, you did it, and you're welcome throughout the campaign. Anything comes up, and to let us know the progress of what's going on.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Any candidate interested in coming on the show, we're reachable at 283-8207. That is our business line, 283-8207, if you would like to appear on this program. Or if you want to send us an email, it would be NBN, Niagara Broadcast Network, at 7900, Niagara Broadcast Network, 7900 at gmail.com. And I want to remind you, too, that all pertinent shows go up on YouTube. Just go to Niagara Broadcast Network. Dennis will be on there tonight in this program, and a lot of other shows, including the now infamous Roger Spurback picking up the dog. Just look up Roger Spurback on
How's Roger
on
doing?
YouTube.
I haven't seen Roger in a long time.
Yeah, well, do yourself a favor. Go to the internet and on YouTube and look up Roger Spurback in the park. I got about a minute left. Hi, you got about 30 seconds. Go ahead. Hello?
Pardon me, is this Viking Magazine?
Is it what?
Is this Viking Magazine?
No, it's not. But thanks for calling. Dennis, thank you for being here.
You get robocalls here, too, huh?
I know, honest to God. Folks, see you Monday with Bill Carroll.